time to get your champagne wishes and caviar dreams. Welcome inside the Hall of Fame. Now, can you dig that?
Boom! Welcome inside the Hall of Fame. I'm Booker T, 6-time world champ, 2-time Hall of Famer. Got my man Brad Gilmore here with me, as always, getting ready to do this thing. I want to thank everybody for stepping inside the Hall of Fame. Getting your champagne wishes, caviar dreams, man. I'm coming off a hell of a weekend. Hell of a weekend. But that's here nor there. Brad, how you doing, man? How you feel?
I'm feeling good, Book. I'm feeling good. I'm excited for this week. There's a lot going on this week. And there's been a lot, going on in the world of pro wrestling and combat sports. I know we have our reality wrestling show coming up next weekend on July the 13th. That's Revolution Rising. Tickets available at realitywrestling.com. A lot of great surprises. It's our show before Summer of Champions 10, which is on the horizon, all brought to you from the Walker, Texas Lloyd Arena there in Texas City, Texas. I'm excited about that. We got UFC 303 this weekend. There's a lot going on, Book. There's just always a lot.
Yeah. First, I want to send out a little something to my man, Tuco Scorpio. Tuco Scorpio was arrested in Kansas City, Missouri, working at a Love's Travel stop, working security there. Got into an incident with one of the customers who apparently had lit up a cigarette. Him being security told the guy to put it out. Got into an altercation, and Tuco Scorpio pulled out a blade and stabbed the guy several times. Tuco is he got arrested on 2 felonies. He was released on bail. I just want to say, man, my homie, if you hear me, give me a call. I definitely, if I can help you in any way I can, I definitely do that. Me and Tuco, we went down the road many a day in WCW. If I had a riding buddy, it was Tuco Scorpio. So I just want to send some love to my boy Tuco Scorpio.
Oh man, yeah. I mean, that's definitely an unfortunate situation. So I mean, it sounds like he was arrested. He was charged with 2 felony counts, first-degree assault, and armed criminal action, and pled not guilty. Obviously, innocent until proven guilty is how all this normally goes. That's an unfortunate situation, completely.
Definitely, it is.
Yeah,
so I just had to say that because, like I said, me and Tuco, we were boys, man. We went down the road many a day, and like I say, if I had a riding companion, it would be Tuco Scorpio and Nick Patrick, one of the two. But like I said, just want to send some love out to my boy Tuco Scorpio.
Yeah, obviously, again, innocent till proven guilty, and it says that according to Tuco in this New York Post article, it was in self-defense.
Mm-hmm.
There was a scuffle, and I guess he felt threatened, and this was in self-defense. But again, an unfortunate situation altogether. I just was reading this as you told me that. I did not hear about that.
Yeah,
So yeah, well, unfortunate, definitely unfortunate book, but not a great transition. How was Seattle?
No, man.
Yeah.
Seattle, Washington, man. Con was awesome, man. I had a great time. The fans, man, they treated me so great in Seattle, and the weather, man, was awesome. I mean, it was about 75 degrees, sunny and clear, just perfect, man. I was like, God, man, I wish Houston had some of this. But it was 2 days, man. I had a great Q&A session with the fans, and it's always cool to go to the fans. We always say sometimes the fans can't come to us, so we got to go to them. But I had a great time. I really did. I really had a great time, and I know it sounds cliche, but if it wasn't for those fans, man, it wouldn't be a Booker T, and it wouldn't be moments like that for me to be able to go out and chop it up with them. And I had one fan, he came dressed as King Booker, and he was probably about 6'8". He had dreadlocks, dressed as King Booker, but it was so freaking awesome, man, to meet so many fans that have had so many moments, watching Booker T out there do his thing. So it was pretty cool.
Oh man, that's great. Did you get to catch up with any of the guys that were out there? I know there were several of the boys out there.
I didn't see Jesse the Body.
He wasn't there?
I didn't see Jesse the Body, but I did get a chance to see the Stinger. I got a chance to see Sting for a second before he got started, and we chopped it up for a second. But when we out there doing that kind of stuff, man, it's business, man. When it's money on the table, hey, bro, go get your paper, baby. We'll holler. We'll chop it up later because definitely I want to get Sting down to reality of wrestling to do a signing or something like that here in the near future.
Yeah, I mean, you and Sting go way, way, way back. So it was just. How did he look? Because now this is Sting post retirement. Does he still look like the Stinger? Is he still?
You know what, man? He looked stress free.
Stress free. That's a good way to put it.
I mean, that's the way he looked to me. He looked stress free. It looked like he was enjoying being away from the ring. He was telling me a quick story about him, waking up and realizing he was finally retired. It's finally, in the rearview mirror. That seemed kind of odd, but no, man, he seemed to be in good spirit. He got in and out of there pretty quick. I guess Sting was there probably about 3 or 4 hours, and boom, he was out.
Hey man, well, good for you, good for the Stinger. And the weather in Seattle, it's normal, rainy, gloomy?
No, man, like I say, man, it was beautiful. It was beautiful in Seattle, man. I mean, the weather was perfect. I couldn't believe how perfect the weather was, but I had a great time for my 2 days there. Looking forward to getting back up there sometime soon.
Okay, well, shout out to Seattle and Seattle Comic-Con. Again, that you were out there promoting, but Book, there's a lot of stuff going on in the world of pro wrestling, combat sports, and the like. Is there a particular place you want to start? Because the people have had a question all on social media since Friday evening, and I feel like we need to get to that question eventually, and that's surrounding the Samoan werewolf, Jacob Fatu. Can we get into Jacob Fatu right now real quick?
Might as well. We got plenty of time left.
We got plenty of time left. So let me ask you about this. Did you see Jacob Fatu's debut?
I didn't.
You didn't see it live. Did you go back and get to see any clips or anything like that?
I did. Okay. I went back and watched the clips and making a big interest, dropping them boys. And he looked real good. He's dropped a lot of weight. He looked like he's in the best shape he's ever been in. And I'm glad to see Jacob finally make his debut in the WWE on the main roster, which I thought was a great move as well, because this guy that's been out there on that scene grinding for quite some time. The fans have been waiting and anticipating the arrival of Jacob Fatu. And I'm just glad that Jacob stayed the course more than anything. I've been talking to Jacob for quite some time about, man, just stay the course. Your time is going to come. And now that time has come. He's making a huge impact. And I just want to see this kid take over this wrestling game, man. People always talk about, the Samoan dynasty, and I really believe Jacob Fatu may be the best out of the whole group. He may just absolutely be. So we're going to find out how good Jacob Fatu actually really is. But I'm proud of the kid. I really am.
Yeah, I will say I was so excited because I got to see it live actually, and I rarely get to catch SmackDown live. I normally have to watch it on tape, and so I was watching it live, and to see Jacob Fatu make his debut, it's just a big smile across my face because we heard rumors, and I want to get into some of those rumors here in the next break, but we heard that he might be coming, and it was kind of waiting. Finally, he shows up. We got Tama Tonga, we got Tonga Loa, and we're waiting to see if Jacob Fatu comes in, and he does. And to me, it says a lot about, you always say your name gets there before you do. It says a lot about Jacob Fatu's name to your debut is not only just as somebody now in the bloodline, but your debut is laying out Kevin Owens, Randy Orton, and the WWE champion Cody Rhodes on your debut. What does that say? What does that say the company thinks of you? You know what I mean? Like it's almost reminiscent of somebody coming into the company and their first angle was taking out Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Hey, bro.
It was very reminiscent of that to me.
He's definitely positioned in a top position as far as a top spot, as far as being a guy that's going to make some moves, make some plays. They waited, to the right time to actually debut him. They didn't just bring him in and just, put him out there. Like I said, just throw him on NXT. It seemed like it was a lot of thought process went into how we actually going to bring Jacob in. For a while there, I was reading that that Jacob was going to come in from just a singles perspective without being a part of the bloodline. So you could tell a whole lot of thought went into bringing Jacob in. And me personally, I think him being a part of the bloodline is perfect. I think it's a no-brainer. I don't think you really had to think a whole lot about where you want to position Jacob Fatu in the company. So man, I'm just ready to see some great matches. Ready for the world to see Jacob Fatu and how good this guy really is, man. I've been touting Jacob Fatu for quite some time. I even said it, I don't know, 6 months ago, I said I'm going to do my best to help Jacob Fatu, get in the WWE, and now he's there. And let's see exactly what the werewolf is all about.
All right, well, we're going to talk more about it. I got more on.
We got to take a break. We got to take a break, though. Stick around, guys. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute. Can you dig it, sucker? And this episode is sponsored by Blue Chew. Guys, let's talk about it. Let's talk about sex. Hey, you remember when you was always ready to go? I'm talking about strapping the rocket on it, man. Going straight to the moon. I'm talking about getting it done. If you want that extra confidence, I got something for you. Listen up. BlueChew.com. Blue Chew is a unique online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra, Cialis, Levitra, but in a chewable tablet at the fraction of the cost.
But the great thing, Book, is you can take it any time, day or night, so you can plan ahead or be ready whenever an opportunity arises. The process is simple. You sign up at BlueChew.com, consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days.
The best part, guys, it's all done online on the internet. So there's no doctor's visit, no awkward conversations, no waiting in line at a pharmacy or any of that.
And the thing is, Book, Blue Chew's tablets, they're made right here in the USA and prepared and shipped direct to your door in a discreet package, so no one is the wiser.
Let's just get it out there, guys. Blue Chew wants to help you have better sex. Discover your options at BlueChew.com. It's like this. Chew it and do it. And we've got a special deal for our listeners. Try Blue Chew absolutely free when you use promo code Booker at your checkout. Just pay $5 for shipping, man. That's BlueChew.com. Use promo code Booker to receive your first month absolutely free. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And, we want to thank Blue Chew for sponsoring the Hall of Fame podcast. Chew it and do it. Boom. Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, man. You said you had a few topics. You said you had something you want to talk about. What? Let's get it.
Well, it's more about Jacob Fatu. We were talking about the debut of the Samoan werewolf, Jacob Fatu, on SmackDown on just this past weekend as a member of the Bloodline. And again, looking in phenomenal shape. And Jacob, I think for people who don't know, it was actually what was always great is when people would talk about Jacob online, they'd send out these clips of him. Oh, check out this little compilation of Jacob Fatu. And it would always be a lot of reality wrestling clips. And I, as you, had the privilege of seeing Jacob Fatu live and in living color on several occasions at reality wrestling, and just how good he was, man, and how smooth, peanut butter smooth Jacob Fatu was in the ring, and his believability, his authenticity, everything looked great. And the people were always there. You know what I mean? The people were always engaged whenever Jacob Fatu was out there. But going to what you were saying, about 6 months ago, there was an article that came out, an article written from this show that said Booker T aims to help Jacob Fatu reach the WWE stardom. And now he's here. Do you feel like you had any influence? I feel like it's a fair question to ask. You put it out there. Did you have any influence? Did you put a call in? Were there any little chirps going around?
You know what? I'm not going to even, talk about that or anything like that. I'm just glad to see Jacob.
You're just happy.
In the WWE. I'm not going to sit here and try to take any credit for Jacob. Just like, Roxanne Perez, just like, Athena, none of them, man. I want those guys to be able to, know that they put the work in. And the only reason that they are there is because of all the hard work that they have put in, more than anything. So I'm going to leave.
Can I ask you this? Yeah. Can I ask you this as a follow-up, though? What did you see from a talent scout coach perspective that you do at reality wrestling a lot. There's a lot of people who've never been to our arena. There's like banners up in the back of people who've come through the school, who've gone on to make it, at a certain level in this industry. And you've always had your eye on them in a certain way. You saw something in each of those people. Now, whether you put the word in, whether you trained them, whatever the case might be, a lot of these people ended up and went on to wrestling greatness. What did you see in Jacob Fatu to bring him into reality of wrestling the several times that we did? What was it that you saw that now the world gets to see?
Talent, raw talent. Anybody that has watched Jacob Fatu perform one time, if you're a promoter, you want him on your roster. You want him on your team. You want to get this dude on your show. And the thing with Jacob, even though Jacob was an indie guy, he seemed to still be a star when he came to reality of wrestling. He seemed to be always a guy that was top billing. And not just at reality of wrestling, everywhere that he goes, he's top billing. And I just saw so much talent in this young man, just raw talent that you can't teach someone in a school or anything like that. He just has that it factor. I mean, it's written all over him. Give him a shot. And if you give him a shot, boom, he'll go out there and knock it out of the park. That's all Jacob was and is looking for, is an opportunity. And now he has that opportunity in the WWE, a place that he really truly belongs, to actually go out there and show the world what I've seen for quite some time. I'm talking about more than 5, 6, 7 years now. He should have been there long before now. Truly, he should have been there long before now. But they say God's always on time, even when he's late. Okay, so no, I think he's in the right place at the right time.
And what you said is like, you always hear about the Samoan professional wrestlers and how they just take to it naturally. And a lot of them do. And there's a certain uncanny ability many of them have. But Jacob, as you said, he has the potential to be the best. I echo those sentiments completely. If you've never seen this guy wrestle, just see what he did on Friday. And he was impressive there. But when you see him in the ring, you hear him on the microphone, you see him make an entrance. There's all these intangibles about him that just make him stand out to where he's not just somebody you've seen before. You have not seen Jacob Fatu before. You have not seen anybody like this guy. And I'm excited. Yeah. He's 100% believable. And I'm excited as you are that he is now in a main event, top billing feud on the main roster in the WWE, and everybody around the world is going to know Jacob Fatu's name. Here's what the other interesting thing is. They already have a shirt for him on WWEshop.com, right? We're now on the 24th day of the month of June, and it's the 5th highest selling t-shirt of the month, the Jacob Fatu Wolf shirt.
Wow.
What did it tell you about?
Just it tells you the fans have been waiting on this guy for a long time, and they want to support him. He's a good dude. More than anything, outside of the ring, he's a really good dude. He reminds me so much of Umaga. I swear to God, man, he reminds me of Umaga so much because Umaga, he was that, Samoan bulldozer, but he had a heart of gold, man. He really did. He had, at least for me. I don't know about the rest of them suckers out there.
He like me. I don't know about y'all.
I can't speak for the rest of them suckers out there, but for me, man, he had the biggest heart, man. And Jacob is the same exact way. I see so many similarities in those two.
Well, I mean, again, we're going to see where the Samoan dynasty starts to run in the bloodline. Still no Roman Reigns. Roman's still kind of out right now. We don't know when we're going to see, the big dog, as he's called, the head of the table, the tribal chief. We don't know when we're going to see him come back, but I'm sure when he does, there's going to be a lot going on. Now, the other thing I wanted to ask you about SmackDown is, did you happen to see the angle that they did with Drew and CM Punk? Did you get to see any of that? Because I know you were on the road. You were on a flight when SmackDown happened.
I was flying.
But I will say, there's a thing where CM Punk opens the show. We know Drew McIntyre quit on Raw last week. CM Punk opens the show. There's this nice Chicago boom, 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 big thing. And later on, you hear some kind of skirmish going on. And you know those loading dock doors or what have you that roll up? They roll up and you see CM Punk bloodied and Drew McIntyre standing over him. And, it continues out into the arena. But it was such a angle that felt like the old school in the best way. Because there's some things that they can do the old school that seems like, hey, that should have stayed in, 88. But then there are things that they do that go, man, that is what made wrestling different than everything. And this was an old school angle, very gruesome, which is now 2 shows in a row for WWE on the main roster that have been gruesome with blood and all that kind of stuff, which I'm not a huge fan of, but in the right circumstances, it works. And this was one of them. And now I feel like Drew and Punk might have the hottest story in the company going into SummerSlam in Cleveland if Punk is cleared to do that, which I'm assuming that he's going to be.
Okay, I'm looking at it right now. I see in the loading dock area, CM Punk's down and Drew McIntyre standing top. Drew looks great, man. And he looked
awesome. He looked awesome, and especially with the
best shape of his life right now. But that's another story. But now I like everything. I said this just last week when we were talking about Drew McIntyre. I like everything that's going on with Drew McIntyre, and as well as CM Punk storyline. As far as this angle, it feels like an angle from back in the day where it just didn't, manifest over a period of one, PLE to the next one. You know what I mean? It actually feels like it's got some teeth. You can sink your teeth into it, as well as I know it actually have been able to, form just because CM Punk has been on the shelf. He's been hurt. But still being on the shelf, they still been able to work CM Punk in the story with Drew McIntyre. And I think there again, it might be the best story on SmackDown right now, as far as from my perspective. It might be.
I think it's the best story right now as far as a singles feud with a lot of heat behind it in the company, just from the standpoint of the whole reason this thing started was because CM Punk went down with an injury and Drew got slotted in that World Heavyweight title match. Remember, the whole plan was going to be Seth Rollins, CM Punk, WrestleMania Night 1 main event. Doesn't happen. Seth and Drew happens. The Money in the Bank screw job happens or what have you. And it has this natural build to it. And I'm like you. They found a way to still utilize CM Punk, build to something that people will be excited about. And Drew has not only has he done his best character work in 2024, he looks the best that he's ever looked. I agree with you in 2024. He's got the best story going right now in the company. This is a banner year for Drew McIntyre that he's going to look back and go, look, everything meant something. Everything had a purpose, and it had a great payoff, we hope, at SummerSlam.
I mean, I think you can go back further than that. I mean, to the pandemic era, how much work Drew put in throughout that era as well. You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
no, I agree. I'm just saying he has a banner year this year.
It's been 3 damn good years for Drew McIntyre. He's put in 3 damn good hard years in this company. And I really think right now he's doing his best work. Like I said, I think I said that last week. I'm just looking at him on film. Like I say, he's in the best shape of his life. He's always been a guy that's been a beast, but right now he's like carved out of granite. So he's definitely putting in the time in the gym. I always tell my students, man, you cannot forsake the gym. And he's definitely putting in the time now because he's looking real jacked, baby. He's looking real jacked. But we got to take a break, man. We got to take a break. Stick around, guys. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute.
Hey everybody, Brad Gilmore here with the one and only Booker T, and today we're not just talking about wrestling, we're talking about something that's changed the game for both of us personally, and that's Mando Whole Body Deodorant.
Yeah, that's right, Brad. You know, the most valuable thing in the world could be that #1 draft pick or home field advantage throughout the playoffs, but you know what's second? Time.
Absolutely, Book, and let me tell you, managing body odor, that used to eat up a lot of time. Always worrying about it, especially around midday, but not anymore since we started using Mando.
Yeah, but tell them why, Brad.
Well, Mando isn't like those other deodorants that just mask the odor with heavy fragrances. Mando stops odor at the source. It blocks bacteria on your skin from breaking down sweat, which, by the way, is what really causes that BO.
And it's clinically proven to control that odor for up to 72 hours. Now that's long-lasting, man.
It really frees up so much time. Since switching to Mando, I've even perfected my half-court shot, believe it or not.
Man, that's awesome. And let me add, I've been using Mando everywhere. Pits, rondos, and even those stinky crevices. We all got. It's aluminum-free, cruelty-free, dye-free, and vegan. Designed by a doctor who knew what was up about body odor, man.
And for our listeners, we got something special. New customers can get $5 off the Mando starter pack. That's over 40% off. Just use our code BOOKER at shopmando.com. That's shopmando.com.
Use shopmando.com. Check out their starter pack. Brad and I would not steer you wrong.
With Mando, you're really taking care of your body odor anywhere and everywhere. Give it a try and let us know what you think.
All right, now back to wrestling. But remember, control your body odor anywhere, anytime with Mando, and save big with the promo code Booker at shopmando.com. Boom. Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, man. Again, I want to thank everybody for stepping inside the Hall of Fame. Getting your champagne wishes and caviar dreams, man. We got a whole lot to talk about here inside the Hall of Fame. Here today. Any super chatters right now out there, Bradley?
Yeah. You know what? We could take some super chatters.
Super chats real quick.
Then I want to ask a few other things. Your opinion on some stuff.
We don't want to wait till the last minute to take care of our super chatters today. We always seem to be putting our super chatters at the end of the line. We can't do that, Brad. We can't do that because here inside the Hall of Fame, we say it all the time, right? We say it all the time. It's all about what?
The people.
Exactly. So kill the people.
Well, then just call for the spot earlier, brother. Come on, man. We don't have to wait till the finish. This comes from Cali Toenail. My first time seeing Jacob was at Christmas Chaos, and I knew then he was the real deal, headed straight up. BT is humble, but the row is actually a diamond/gold mine, and that mine constantly produces who you with.
Who you with? I appreciate that, man. I appreciate, the pat on the back, Callie. But I'm just not one to go out there and talk about, what I've done and this, that, whatnot, and the other, because I really believe it, man. I really believe it that these young guys, they put in the damn work.
Yeah.
I try to be that beacon of light. I try to be that one that, like for me, all I needed was a pat on the back. Somebody tell me, hey, man, you can do this. I'm all about trying to bring these young guys up more than anything. And Jacob just happened to be one of them. I was just talking about Moose not too long ago. And I said, man, I want to see Moose inside the WWE. I want to see this dude in the ring taking on some of the best guys in the world, because we got a chance to see Moose up close and personal in Reality of Wrestling, right? And when he was at Reality of Wrestling, he wrestled one of the best indie guys that we had to offer at that time, the Mysterious Q.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you right now, those guys, Q and Moose, went out there and had a hell of a match. Moose showed me he was more than just a big man that night, man. I was so impressed with this dude. So for me, I'm about giving the rub. You know what I'm saying? If I can give somebody the rub and somebody can open their eyes and see, perhaps, hey, man, let's get this guy a shot. That's what it's all about. Another guy, Kenny King, a guy who's an extraordinary talent. He's like the wind. You could feel it, but you can't see it. But you know it's there. That's Kenny King. Get a guy a shot, man. So that's what I'm all about, man. I'm all about trying to get these guys to rub, and hopefully they'll get the rub and go out there and show the world what it's all about, man.
Hey, I agree with you. I think Moose is obviously incredible as far as his wrestling, at least from what I was able to see in our cross show with TNA back when they were still Impact Wrestling, which I feel like we should do another one of those. I'm still pushing for that. For what is it? Deep Impact 2.
Deep Impact
2.
I came up with that name.
Yeah.
Just want everybody to know that I did.
I thought that you didn't need credit for stuff. Didn't you just say that? Didn't you just say that?
For that kind of stuff, it's different. You know what I'm saying? It's like the battle.
I'll give you a pat on the back.
The battle to the bell. I came up with that. That it's like Dusty Rhodes coming up with Starcade. I came up with that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. What can I say?
Just want you to know. Just want everybody to know.
Music says, I saw Jacob Fatu in person at a row event in February. He's the real deal. The hype is real. It was worth the 3-hour drive from Dallas to Houston. Well, in music, not only was it worth the 3-hour drive, it's just worth it to get out of Dallas. But I understand what you're saying.
You ain't jiving, man. Especially if you're at Oak Cliff. I'm just playing.
Shout out to our Oak Cliff
all
listeners.
My people down there at Oak Cliff. I used to hang out in Oak Cliff for many a day.
He never had a good time.
No, man, they got this little chicken shack down there. What's the name of it? Reed's Chicken or something like that, man. It's awesome.
Okay. I thought you meant something else like Chicken Shack.
This catfish cabin. This catfish cabin down there was off the chain, bro. Oh yeah, you get you some hot sauce. You stay in there all damn day.
Wait a minute. The Chicken Shack and the Catfish Cabin.
Yeah.
You sure this went on some country road somewhere in like Kentucky?
It was not Reed's Chicken. It was Williams Chicken. Now I just call it a chicken shack. You know what I mean? But it was a chicken. It was like Church's Chicken or something like that. Now, mean, crispy chicken, man.
Oh well, next time you're in Oak Cliff, check out the Chicken Shack or the Catfish Cabin. It's over there by the.
It's Williams Chicken, man. Williams.
It's over there by the Hot Dog Hut and the Pizza Palace. Anyway,
I don't know where Williams got that recipe from, but it's me. I ain't lying.
So shout out to all our Dallas listeners. But yeah, we also appreciate that. Of course, Jacob Fatu, he's the man. He's the real deal. Realer than real deal Holyfield is what they say.
In music, we do appreciate you making that trip from Dallas. We really do to come to Reality Wrestling and be a part of, what we got going on. Reality Wrestling is growing at a enormous rate. LED sign is going up Wednesday, y'all. It's going up Wednesday. So walk in Texas Lawyer Arena, you're gonna be able to see it from the moon. You feel me? So guys, money moves at Reality Wrestling. Money.
There's also an announcement. It should be going out here shortly.
The hell with waiting on that announcement, man. We're going to tell the people right now what the announcement is. The announcement is Reality of Wrestling. Just like my man right here, just like Paul Bosch back in the day, Houston Wrestling on Saturday night at 10 p.m., just like Paul Bosch, Reality of Wrestling is going down Saturday nights at 10 p.m. right here on Channel 39. Oh, yeah, man. Don't miss out. Don't get shot. Hey, man, you ain't even got a DVR it now. All you got to do is just, boom, click on the Channel 39, kick back, relax, and watch you some Reality Wrestling every Saturday night. We try to get it like it was back in the day, too. Every Sunday morning, 10 a.m., boom, you get a chance to see it all over again, just to replay. So hopefully we can make that happen down the road. But we want to thank everybody over at the CW Network for making this happen, man. We really, really, truly appreciate this. We love you guys.
Yes. Shout out to everybody over there at CW39 for making it happen, of course. I'm excited that Reality Wrestling continues to be a beacon of local sports programming here in the city and then also all over the world. Hundreds of millions of views on YouTube, 772,000 subscribers. I mean, it's awesome. But yeah, look out for the press release. You'll have more information on when Reality Wrestling's coming to your television screens at 10 p.m. on the CW. We do have another super chat here. Oops. Humble_85 wants to know, how do you feel about MVP's recent comments? Did you see? I think I know what they're talking about. Did you see all the back and forth with him about the Hurt business?
Yeah, man. I really don't want to speak on MVP's comments. He pretty much made his feelings known.
Yeah.
And I'm sure people that need to know are aware about his feelings. But I was always a huge fan of the Hurt Business. I've said that here many times inside the Hall of Fame. I said how instrumental of a role that MVP played as far as really, really almost being that legitimizer for the Hurt Business, such as Sherry Martell was for us back in the day. So no, hopefully they can work that situation out, and I don't know. I just think stuff like that need to be handled behind closed doors.
Yeah, and I think you've been consistent on that, no matter who it was saying it.
No matter who say stuff like
you
that,
always say that.
I've said that many, many times about certain things as far as business go. Business, it's not something that we handle over the internet. It's just not. You know what I mean? Business is something that we handle behind closed doors from a business perspective. That's just me. And I just hopefully that's where they end up at the end of the day.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think the Hurt Business was a great faction. You elevated everybody in that thing. And I do think I am probably a part of the contingent that thought it stopped too soon. I thought there was more meat on that bone, but it stopped and, it moved on. And, apparently, if you want to know what MVP said, you can go find it yourself. It's on social. All the sites picked it up. But I'm like you. It's like I like to handle everything behind closed doors or a phone call. But, everyone has their way to do things. And MV thought that was the right way to air out what he wanted to say. And what? More power to him. That's his decision. But we got to take a break.
Stick around, man. We'll be back in a minute.
Can you dig it, sucker?
All right, everyone, it's Booker T and Brad Gilmore here, and we've got something exciting for all you sports, comedy, music, and theater fans out there. We're talking about Game Time, the fastest, easiest way to get your hands on tickets to your favorite events.
That's right, Book. We love all those spontaneous, unforgettable moments, and Game Time is here to make them happen. Whether it's a last-minute decision to see a game or a sudden urge to catch a live show, Game Time has got you covered, giving fans access to tickets even at the last minute in over 60 cities across the United States and Canada.
Hey, guys, this ain't about getting in. This is about getting the best seats in the house. With Game Time, you can see images of your seat before you buy it, so no surprises there, guys. You can score tickets swiftly. Skip the line, guys. Just dive straight into the moment.
Absolutely. And listen to this. Game Time guarantees the best prices. Find tickets in the same section and row for less elsewhere. Game Time will give you a credit of 110% of the difference. So there's no reason to wait, bro.
So whether it's the thrill of the game, the laughter of the comedy, the rhythm of the music, or the drama of the theater, guys, don't let the opportunity skip by. Choose Game Time. Grab your tickets and just enjoy the moment.
Live should be spontaneous, Book. So guys, don't miss out. Check out Game Time now on their app or at gametime.co. That's gametime.co.
Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Just download the Game Time app, create an account, and use the code BOOKER for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Lowest price. Guaranteed. Oh, yes. Boom. Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, man. Just take a few super chatters. We got any more super chatters on that topic right there, Brad?
Not on the MVP topic, but on Jacob Fatu, of course.
Fatu, that's what I meant. I'm sorry.
Loso Dolo said, who would you like to see Jacob Fatu wrestle in the WWE?
It's just not going to matter to me, man. I mean, I feel like he should run the gambit. I think he should go through the list of guys and get out there and perform with. I think whoever wrestles Jacob Fatu in the beginning going to be putting him over, no matter who it is. But nah, man, I'm just ready to see this kid go out here and perform at that level that I've seen him perform at so many times on an independent level, to the point to where I say, man, you need to slow it down, bro. I don't need you getting hurt before you make it to the big time and start making a big check. He was always willing to throw caution to the wind. He was always the guy that I was. You say with one of the boys, she said, "Man, you go as far as you want to go. You know, the promoter, he'll pull you back if he need to." Jacob was always the guy that I was trying to pull back and say, "Man, no, we don't need.
You don't got to do that.
You got to do that. We got to do that, you know." But he always was willing, just like Umaga, who was willing to show up at Reality of Wrestling and was willing to get fired. And I'm like, "Bro, you don't need to be here." Yeah, man, I'm here. Who am I working? You know, that's the way I see this kid. But nah, man, big ups to Jacob Fatu. He's going to be a hell of a star, big star. He's going to beat everybody. That's what's going to happen.
He's going to be the champ this time next year. We're going to be talking about him as the world champ. I would love it. Hey, speaking of WWE, there's a couple other things I want to run by you, but one of them is you've spent what now, Book? I'd say the last, would you say 10 plus years as a member of the broadcast team with the WWE. And you have worked closely with somebody who is now they're in their final week of their WWE run as far as being a member of the broadcast team. That's Kayla Braxton. She announced her departure from the company that's going to, I think, come to a head this Friday from Madison Square Garden. I believe it's this Friday or Saturday. She said in a statement, it's just time for her to move on to the next thing. There were rumors out there that she was going to AEW. She's completely squashed those very quickly. And I think she's pursuing things outside of the realm of professional wrestling. What do you think of Kayla's exit from WWE? And did you enjoy working with Kayla? And kind of what are your feelings on the matter?
She's finished. Come on, man. I'm just saying she's wrapping up, with WWE. That's what I'm saying. Okay. It's nothing funny about that, man. No. It just is one of those things. Kayla been there for what? How long she's been there? Maybe 5 years?
I think longer than that. She mentioned since 2016.
Wow, man. That's a hell of a run. That's a hell of a run. I don't know what's the reasonings. I don't know if it's budget cuts. I don't know if, they're looking for somebody else to put in that spot. I don't know.
Sounds like she's leaving on her own accord from what I understand.
Well, I think things you got to understand.
I feel it. I feel you.
No, you got to understand, and you got to be real. Let's just be real about it. The regime change is real, and for a lot of guys, it feels a certain way. Being under the new regime opposed to the old regime, and it's going to be a lot of changes when that happens. I talk about that all the time, as far as when. If you're part of a clique and then just say, for instance, the boss in the clique gets fired, everybody in that clique gonna get replaced. Everybody, and that's just part of it. They're gonna bring in the guys that they like, guys that they're comfortable with. Even myself, being a part of this company now for 20 years, I still have to come to work just like I always have, with my hard hat on and thinking about. Doing my job more than anything, because I don't know if these guys know me from Adam. I really don't, so I don't know if, I'm going to be getting a phone call. You just don't know. And that's just the way it is. And that's why I always say preparation is your only luck. You better be prepared for what's next. And that's just the way it is. And hopefully Kayla's prepared.
Yeah, I mean, I always thought Kayla was great in her role, especially when she was hosting those kickoff panels with you and JBL and Rosenberg. She had a way to rein all of you in at times when you were having fun out there. And she's a quality broadcaster. So I think that, wherever she goes next, whatever industry that might be, whatever realm or medium it might be, they'll be better for it. She's great. Hey, Book. There's a few other things I think in the world of wrestling that we should definitely touch on, but one of them is, did you see this AEW number, this rating that came in for Dynamite? The lowest in the history of the show came in last week, and it was pretty shocking, honestly, to read. It was 502,000 viewers, 502,000, and it's the lowest, and it's not even close. Right? I mean, it's not like, it was 1,000 under their lowest. It's like 100,000 under their lowest. Mm-hmm. What did you make of that?
Well, I just think That show is not doing anything to grow their audience. They really aren't. They're bringing in talent. They're signing a lot of guys, but I really don't think the bulk of the wrestling fans watch wrestling just for the wrestling matches. And I think that company is wrestling heavy all the time. It's about going out and having 5-star matches. And I just don't think the true wrestling fan is sitting around waiting to see a 5-star match, because wrestling is entertainment. Okay, it's always been entertainment. And when you're thinking about a 5-star match, a 5-star fight or a fight of the night, I'm thinking about PBC. I'm thinking about the UFC. I'm not thinking about the WWE or AEW as far as 5-star matches. Me personally, I don't know if I ever had any 5-star matches. I've had some good ones. I've had a lot of good matches. But as far as 5-star rating, I really don't know what that means. But that company seems to literally cater to that niche of fan, and I really don't think it's that many fans out there really that are that high on staying in tune to trying to keep up with guys going out and having 5-star matches on a weekly. Nobody cares about that. Nobody cares. Honestly, nobody cares. I want to see a great match every time the guys go out and perform. But that's not what the fans really, truly care about. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong. But that's just my opinion on that.
Well, again, when I saw the number, I was thrown off, because I figured like AEW, like there was a time, if I'm being honest, where WWE programming was pretty stale. This is maybe 5-6 years ago. I mean, it was just, there wasn't a lot of energy behind the product, but still, even though I thought some of the shows were lackluster, they kept their audience. There'd be dips, but there was like a number that it was like 2 million viewers. This is like pre-pandemic, 2.5 million viewers. It would never go below that for WWE. I'm talking about Raw. And so I thought AEW had like 700,000, maybe 680 was their floor. It wasn't going to go below that. So when I saw the 502,000 number, I thought that there was some sort of mistake, right? Because I was like, wait, the NBA Finals just wrapped up. We're not in football season. It's not baseball playoffs. Hockey's wrapped up. Like, what's going on? And then I saw people on social saying, oh, it was the Kendrick Lamar concert. I'm like, well, it definitely wasn't the Kendrick Lamar concert. I hate to break that bubble for everybody. Streaming concert was great. Concert was great. Yeah, he's awesome. Kendrick Lamar is awesome.
He broke it down, man. That's what he got.
Yeah, he's great. But I don't think that took 200,000 viewers away from AEW program. Now I could be wrong on that.
Look here, man.
But hold on. This I want to get this point in. I want to get this point in. Here's the weird thing. So I went and looked at the AEW trend. Like where's their numbers been? Where's it been hovering? Now, going from the top of the year, I'm talking January, all the way through the end of March, essentially every single show had 800,000 viewers. Essentially, if you average them out, it's probably a little bit higher than that, maybe like 825. So I'm like, okay, where did it start to turn around? Right. The last show that they posted with 800,000 viewers was the April 10th edition of Dynamite, which we remember all for them showing the CM Punk footage that night of him at the fight with Jack Perry, right? Since then, they have dropped precipitously, nearly week to week, never getting to 800,000 again, mainly being in the mid to low 700s, high 600,000s, with this last week being the aberration of 502,000. But it's from that moment I see it. I see a drop off, never getting to 800,000 again. I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but it does seem kind of strange. Does it not?
It seems a little strange, but we got to take a break. We'll talk about it on the other side. Stick around. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute. Hey, y'all, Booker T here alongside with my main man, Brad Gilmore. And today we're talking about something that could really change the game when it comes to how you get paid.
That's right, Booker, because let's face it, life doesn't just happen every 2 weeks. So why wait for a payday? With Earn In, the money you've earned already can be in your hands today.
Earn In is this incredible app that lets you access your pay as you earn it. We're talking about up to $100 per day and up to $750 each pay period.
All you got to do is download the Earn In app, verify your paycheck, and boom, you can access up to $100 a day as you work. And the cool part, you just leave an optional tip, and any money you access plus the tip gets repaid when your next paycheck rolls in.
You know, Brad, I'm always talking about staying ready so you don't have to get ready, right? Imagine having that extra cash for that surprise date night, or maybe when you have to take the furry little friend to the vet unexpectedly. You know.
Absolutely, Booker. Or even those times when you need to grab a last-minute gift, or maybe you're a little short on rent, or hey, even you might want to pick up some new gear for yourself or your kids or your lady.
Folks, make Earn In part of your financial playbook. Join over 3.5 million customers who are finding financial stability and peace of mind thanks to Earn In.
So don't wait around for a payday. Get your money when you need it and take control of your finances. Download Earn In today and experience what it's like to access pay on your terms.
Get started with Earn In now and join the millions who are getting their pay their way. It's time to earn in, not just earn. Check it out, man. Boom. Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, y'all. We're talking about AEW. We're talking about the ratings dip. Is it the CM Punk defect? That's the question right there. It's the CM Punk effect. Did CM Punk's fans see that and say, "Man, I'm not down with this anymore. I'm gonna jump off the ship." Did that happen? Is that the question that you're asking?
I mean, essentially, but also you have to think about this: is that moment where they did that also ushered in this new kind of story that AEW has been going with Tony Khan was then involved and had his little pile driver spot that he did. The Young Bucks are more prominently featured as these heel authority figures. And I'm just wondering if this latest number is a clear indication of you are not giving us what we want as pro wrestling fans. Yes, we do want to see great matches. But I'll say this, Book, just to put it out there, like you would say a 5-star match, in your opinion, would be, let's just say, Shawn and Taker from WrestleMania 25, right?
Right.
Here in Houston. One of the great matches of all time, if not the greatest WrestleMania match ever. Okay. If we saw, think about that. Think about what made that match actually special. Was not only their chemistry, not only their storytelling ability, the promos leading up to the match, getting us bought in, the streak is there, the career is there. There's all these factors. But it was also the first time I can remember guys kicking out of finishes, that many times in a match. And it was Taker and it was Shawn. Now, Undertaker actually just talked about this on his podcast. I believe it was his show, or it might have been on Van Vliet's show. I was listening to an interview that they did, and Taker talked about, hey, maybe that ruined the business, actually, was Shawn and I's match because we're kicking out all these finishes. And to me, I'm seeing a version of the Undertaker-Shawn match 10 times a night on AEW from the perspective of, let's just do a bunch of crazy stuff. Let's kick out of finishes. Let's not sell anything. Let's just keep moving. And to me, there's only so much of that you can do when people also aren't bought into the story that you're presenting. The reason that match was so great at WrestleMania wasn't just because they were kicking out finishes. It was because we bought in to the story that they were telling prior to the belt.
No, not just that. Not just that. It was a WrestleMania match.
And it was thank you. That was the other point I was going to get to. It built. wait. No, because I lost my train of thought for a second. But yes, it built to a big show where we would expect a match to be all balls out, pulling out all the stops, spectacle.
Yeah.
And that's do that on weekly TV. It's hard.
But that's what I always talk about with young guys, like when they come to reality wrestling. I tell them, look, man, I don't need you going out here doing a 10 kick out finish match. I said, I don't need that. You know, I say when you have a WrestleMania match, you'll be at WrestleMania. You know, so understand where you are, as far as your shows and whatnot, opposed to going out there and just thinking that every match is supposed to be like Taker and Shawn, everybody, a lot of kickouts all the time. And I think that is something that has changed the name of the game. I don't put the onus on Taker and Shawn or anything like that. Those guys were going out there and create magic, and they did create a hell of a show that night. That was one of the best matches I've ever seen. And I said both of those guys, between the both of them, they had 100 years plus,
Yeah.
on the docket. So now, man, for me, if young guys knew, just say for instance, where they were on the card and what the pecking order of the card meant, which a lot of young people these days don't know. You learn that when you come to reality wrestling. As far as, look, you don't need to, the first match, I don't need you going outside that square circle. I mean, those four ropes. We don't need that. A chair shot, no, we don't. Somebody's going to be maybe using that later on. We don't need that. No, we don't need you jumping off the scaffold tonight. We'll all day. That type of stuff. I understand. Trust me, I get it totally.
Yeah, and the thing is too, I also, and only because Taker brought it up himself, but just when I'm thinking about that match too, you know what else that brought in? That brought in the I can't believe he kicked out face, right? Because Taker, when Shawn kicked out of the tombstone, he sells it like, this has never happened before.
Yeah.
On the indies all the time, and sometimes in AEW, where everybody, if they kick out, it's
yeah.
Like, I can't believe they just kicked out of a move instead of like, why?
Yeah, like that, like they didn't supposed to do that. Like that doesn't supposed to happen in wrestling. So that right there for me is one that I hate.
I hate that too.
I hate that. And
oh my gosh, it's so annoying.
To stay away from stuff like that, because one person did it for a certain reason. It doesn't mean it's going to work for you the way it worked for them. They
earn that reason. But to go back to AEW, I do think that that's part of it. And I think that, and this has been said a million times, so I don't want to beat a dead horse, but to me, what's always made wrestling good is, a story that people can buy into. And the story that we were just talking about, Drew and CM Punk. We're talking about the Bloodline, The Rock and Cody Rhodes. These are just stories from this year, that stand out as top angles. And the reason why this was the biggest WrestleMania of all time is because we wanted to see Cody win the title. We're bought into heel Rock. We're bought into Roman Reigns. We're bought into the Bloodline. Drew, Seth, everybody on the card, LA Knight, everybody had an angle. That LA Knight AJ Styles match, you wanted to see it because they made you want to see it. You know what I mean? There's not a match in AEW they're making me want to see now.
Well, the thing is, Tony Khan pretty much says it himself. He says, we put on the best matches, the best shows, but he always refers back to the best matches. It's just like, say, for instance, the Mercedes Moné and the Willow Nightingale. Mm-hmm. They talk about how great that match was. I didn't see the match, but I've heard a lot about how great the match was. Mm-hmm. I think Mercedes Moné say it was like match of the year or something like that. And this is my thing. And no, I mean, here nor there. It may have been, but I just don't think people watch wrestling. Not the majority. The bulk of the majority of people do not watch wrestling just to see 5-star matches, to see how great the matches are. It's just like just like all of the buzz that the Wyatt Six has right now. Okay, they haven't done one match. They haven't done anything. They did one vignette, and everybody is talking about it. I think that proves my point as far as why people watch wrestling. They watch it for the moments. They watch it to be entertained, and you can't fully entertain wrestling fans by just giving them really, really good wrestling. And I say that coming from WCW, which was a wrestling company, and I was a damn good wrestler. But I don't think I would have ever reached my peak from an entertainment perspective if I wouldn't have went to the WWE. I just don't.
I agree.
I would have just been a wrestler. I wouldn't have thought about Mike Time or anything like that. I would have just been a guy that went out there and did good matches. And that's the only thing that I thought about when I was in WCW for so many years, was just going out and having good matches.
Wrestling fans were fans of Booker T for his work in WCW. Pop culture. Booker T entered the pop culture discussion when you were in WWE. You're known, as far as pop culture goes, for your work in the WWE, where you were made wrestler with wrestling fans in the WCW. If you understand what I'm saying.
No, I agree with you 100%. This is exactly what I'm saying. You know, I mean, I was a damn good wrestler in WCW, but I would have never reached my peak as a performer, such as King Booker, in WCW. That just wouldn't have never happened. And a lot of people may not remember a lot of the matches that King Booker had, but they remember King Booker. I mean, I just coming off.
That's the point.
This con in Seattle, and I swear, man, so many people came up and they wanted the King Booker photo, you know, and they wanted me to put all hail King Booker on it as well. and
I'm charging you by the letter, brother.
now most of them would have a story and they go, man, I swear I hated you when I was a kid, but I hated King Booker. And now as an adult, I realize why I hated it so much, because it was that good. It really made me feel something deep inside. I had so many people come up to my table and they had a story just like that. So I as well as, you know, Booker T and Stone Cold Steve Austin, man, that was my favorite match you've ever had. And I'm like, that wasn't a match, you know, but it was a moment. Never thought 20 years later, 20 years plus, that people would still be talking about Booker T and Stone Cold in a grocery store. That's not something that on record should happen. On record, that should not happen. But we went out there and did our work. I knew exactly what my job was. And my job was, this is the payoff. And let's go out here and make it right. And that's exactly what happened that night. Guys, stick around. You're in the Hall of Fame, man. We'll be back in a minute.
Hey there, beach babes and beach bros. Are you ready to soak up the summer vibes and strut out with your ultimate beach bod? Well, good news, because our friends over at Manscaped have got you covered from head to toe.
Oh, yeah, Brad. We're talking about the Performance Package 5.0 Ultra, the all-in-one grooming kit that's a total game changer for your summer look, man. With Manscaped, you're not just grooming, you're unlocking confidence you need to turn heads this beach season. Oh, yes.
That's right, Booker. And we're talking 10 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped. And because you're listening to us, you get a special deal. 20% off plus free shipping with the code BOOKER at manscaped.com. Let's make this summer your smoothest one yet.
Man, let me tell you about the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra. This bad boy got a summer makeover. It's waterproof, perfect for those splashy pool parties and beach hangouts. And don't get me started with the Weed Whacker 2.0 for those pesky nose and ear hairs.
Oh, and after you trim, you've got to try the Crop Soother Ball Aftershave Lotion. Say goodbye to chafing and hello to comfort all day long. Plus, the Crop Preserver Anti-Chafing Ball Deodorant, absolute must-have for those hot, sunny days.
Hey, and don't forget, every purchase comes with a little extra. Free Boxers 2.0 Midnight Bravo. Talk about comfort and style that fits like a dream. You're gonna love it, I guarantee.
So what are you waiting for? Get 20% off plus free shipping with the code BOOKER at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use the code BOOKER.
Yeah, the summer sun is here to stay, so trust Manscaped and keep you looking and feeling cool.
Jump on this deal, y'all, and stay groomed this summer with Manscaped. Your beach bod deserves the best.
Boom! Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, man. We just kicking it, doing a little some, talking everything sports and entertainment. I don't know if we got any more super chatters out there, but I don't know if you want to take them right now, but I know you had something else you want to talk about. You want to get it in right now?
Yeah, let's do that, and then we'll go to all the super chats because there are a lot of them, and we could probably get through it in this segment.
Okay.
This week they're going to air the last part of the 4-part documentary on who killed WCW. I think you and I are both anticipating the final finale and see if just like the age-old question of who shot JR, if they're going to not Jim Ross for wrestling fans, it's the show Dallas back in the day, who shot JR, we're going to find out who killed WCW. But did you see that somebody who was talked about a whole lot in these documentaries did make a statement on who killed WCW, and that was the immortal Hulk Hogan. Did you see what Hogan said about who killed WCW?
I read, I think a couple of the highlights where he was saying that it was the higher ups that didn't want WCW to, to make it. I think if I'm correct.
Yeah. So he said in an interview with Sports Illustrated that it was the merger between America Online and Time Warner. It was a factor in the demise. This is exactly what he says. He says, it's not the flashiest story, but I can tell you that what killed WCW. There was no way WCW is going to survive, not under those circumstances. So many people knock Eric Bischoff, but there was an opposition he was dealing with from the higher ups in the company. He wasn't going to win that battle. These executives who had no idea what wrestling was all about, and they had no interest in learning. They just wanted more traditional programming. They didn't want wrestling in their highbrow portfolio. They weren't interested and nothing else mattered. I've heard this sentiment a lot. Was this something that you've heard before, that they didn't want wrestling in their portfolio?
I've heard that before as well.
But you know what? I was thinking about this, and this is, Time Warner, AOL. Again, they own so many media companies, including Warner Brothers, HBO, all kinds of things going back to the day. And was it that they didn't want wrestling in their portfolio, or was it that WCW at the point of the merger was losing money? I mean, to me, that's more of a thing. Because let me ask you this, if WCW was still drawing a 5 share on TV, like it was in its heyday, not a 2 share, which it was at the last several months of the company, and was making $200 to $400 million a year and not losing money like it was toward the end of the company, I don't think they would have been like, oh, hey, you see this great product that's making us all this money and getting all this attention? Let's get rid of it because we're too highbrow for it. I don't think that. I mean, they own a company like HBO that at the time was still showing like adult entertainment. I don't think it was too lowbrow for their highbrow executives. That's my opinion.
Well, let's look at it like this. Look at it from this perspective. What have they replaced WCW Monday Nitro with that had a higher rating and did better, numbers? What did they replace it with?
I wouldn't even know.
Exactly my point.
Yeah.
Exactly my point. So now I don't think if we was making money that they would have been, that trigger happy to get rid of it. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong. I could be 100% wrong. It could have been somebody in the, Time Warner offices, AOL, whatnot, saying, man, this ain't. I'm not feeling it. I don't know. That could be true, but I do know what I saw and how business was being done. And for me, if I was a guy, just say for instance, not managing reality wrestling on a monthly basis, but just overseeing it from afar. And one day I opened the books and I said, man, what the hell is going on? I've been sending all this money down there and we're just losing. I would do something about it. Me personally, I think that's what happened with WCW, because it was a lot of money being mishandled in that company. It was a lot of, and the thing is, anybody can say, well, I mean, I don't know how much was being spent. And that's true. I don't know how much was being spent, but I do know it takes a whole lot of money to put on those kind of shows. I do know it take, a budget to take care of that talent as well. And I know all the damn talent on that roster, even guys that were sitting at home, they were happy as hell. They were all happy.
Mm-hmm.
Checks never bounced, not once. So I'm just looking at it from that perspective.
Yeah. And when you look at it from that perspective, I don't know. I just think that, again, everyone's going to have their spin on who killed WCW or what have you. But to me, I just don't see any corporate company saying, oh, we're still making money. We're still drawing a rating. So let's cancel it. And if so, a publicly traded company, that would be their board would get fired because they're playing with people's money in the stock market. So the shareholders would oust any decision makers who would say, hey, we're going to cost you money because we're going to get rid of this golden goose. Because, because we don't like wrestling.
I mean, it would seem that way. I mean, you and I, we wasn't, anywhere near the office, just like Eric Bischoff said. We wasn't near the room.
I wasn't in the room.
I wasn't in the room.
And you know what else, Book? I'm not even tan. So I don't deserve to be in the room.
I wasn't even at the show. But no, man. I mean, I think we're gonna find out in the end, I guess, who truly killed WCW. Like you said, we got one more episode that comes out tomorrow. I can't wait to watch it. I wasn't really that intrigued. I wasn't highly anticipating watching the show, but I tell you, once I got off into it, it actually turned me on a little bit. It's actually a pretty good show.
Yeah, I know. I'm looking forward to seeing what the end result is, and and exactly who they blame.
Who shot JR?
Who shot JR? Who did it? You know what I mean? We got to know. We got to know exactly who did it, and we're going to find out.
We got to know.
We got to know. Yes, I agree with you. And we'll find out again. And if somebody can tell me, if I can find it, I would love to know what show took over the time slot for Nitro on TNT. Yeah. Somebody's got to have it. I'm trying to find out right now. I've been Googling while we've been talking, and I can't find a record.
The thing is, whatever they put there, they might have had better advertising dollars just because it was a fan-friendly show. Maybe maybe that's where they made their money.
But to me, WCW never went all the way over the top. I mean, there were certain things.
No, but wrestling always had a certain connotation. It always had a certain feel to it as far as advertisers, would go.
This is a question that just came in for a super chat on this topic. Alex Costantino wants to know, did WCW mess up by having so many downside guarantees and not incentivized contracts like the WWE? Seems like you wouldn't be as motivated to work. Well, the downside guarantee is an incentivized contract, right? Like, this is the lowest you'll make, but you can make over that, I think. And it's got you've got incentives to work more. I'm not sure, but I think the guarantee.
I think he's talking about the guarantee more than anything.
Right.
I believe that. There was a lot of guys in WCW that was making a lot of money that really wasn't producing dollars for the show. Wasn't producing revenue for the show from a in-ring perspective, from a merchandise perspective. A lot of the guys were just sitting at home. And they were making a lot of money. It seemed like it would have been some kind of clause in your contract. If you didn't work over a certain amount of days, you would only get paid such amount of money. It seemed like something would have been put in there, but I really don't think that was the thought process back then. The thought process back then was, let's get everybody we possibly can. Let's corner the market. Let's put WWF out of business. I think that was the thought process. I could be wrong. I could be wrong, but it felt that way to me.
Let me ask you this: I don't know how the WCW contracts were structured. Was it just a flat fee guarantee, like, hey, Mr. X, you're getting paid $500,000 flat
a year?
A year. That's what you're getting. Okay, so it wasn't like how WWE says, hey, we're going to give you $350 flat, but you could actually earn more based on these certain indicators.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay,
WWE might say we give you $150. We'll work on these other indicators. You know what I'm saying? But no, it seemed like it would have been structured that way. But WCW contracts were structured. We pay you X amount of dollars a year to work, on the show. They don't even give you a certain amount of days or anything like that. You just contracted for that year.
That makes sense. And yeah, to me, that's what Alex was saying in his comment. That's a horrible way to incentivize your talent. Even NFL and NBA guys have certain things. Hey, you make the All-Star team. Hey, if you make it to the first round of the playoffs, we're going to give you a little bump.
Yeah. No, it wasn't like that with WCW. It was plentiful, baby. It was plentiful. A lot of ducats flying around. Long green ducats too, man. Stick around. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute.
My name is Nathan Wasser, and I'm from Toronto, Ontario, Canada. I came down here to Reality of Wrestling to improve my training and get myself more experience learning from the absolute best. It's intense. It's hard. You got to leave your ego at the door and come in with an open mind. The way they do stuff here is the next level. But if you do that, you'll end up bettering yourself in the end, and you'll improve, and you'll be able to work anywhere.
Nathan, he's an unbelievably awesome student. I'll tell you why, right? For a few reasons. Number one, the man packed up all the way from the Great White North to move down here to the U.S. to train because he wanted to learn from one of the best. But what's even more impressive, on top of the fact that he takes care of his body, he works hard, is the fact that he was trained by a very reputable trainer and yet still comes down here humble, hungry, ready to work and ready to learn, and not coming in here acting like he knows everything or that he's too rigid in his ways.
Booker's knowledge will help you get to whatever goals you want to do if you want to be a big star in this industry. My end goal is to be in WWE. Coming down here to Reality of Wrestling, I feel is the best opportunity for me to get there, so I'm going to do whatever it takes. I can promise you, when you come to Reality of Wrestling, it will change your life. You will not regret it.
Can you dig it, sucker?
You're listening to the Hall of Fame. Here's Booker T and Brad Gilmore.
Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, man. We got one more segment before we wrap this thing up. I know we got some super chatters out there we got to get to you guys, but I was just wondering, Brad, did you get a chance to check out UFC Fight Night coming from Saudi Arabia this weekend? Robert Whitaker went out there and had a fantastic performance versus Ikram Aliskerov. Alex Karov. It's hard to pronounce that right there, but I tell you,
a lot of consonants, man.
Yeah. But Robert Whitaker went out there and did his thing, man. I swear, man, it looked like the Robert Whitaker of old, throwing those hands, throwing kicks. Went out there and got that boy out of there in 1 minute and 49 seconds. And the thing is, this was one of those gatekeeper moments right here where, Robert Whitaker was being thrown to the wolves in Saudi Arabia against Karov. And the thing is, everybody had their money on that kid. Everybody had their money on him. And Robert went out there and showed that there are levels to this game. That's what the thing is, man. There are levels to this fight game. You see these certain fighters come on the scene and they dominate. Then they throw them in there with, one of these killers. And then they go, man, this guy's not as tough as we thought he was. That was this moment right here with Robert Whitaker, as well as Volkan Ozdemir went out there and basted that boy Johnny Walker. I mean, very, very quickly, 2 minutes, 28 seconds in round one. I tell you, this was one of the best fight night cards in quite some time. Kevin Gastelum was on the card as well versus Daniel Rodriguez, won by unanimous decision. So it was a great fight night heading into UFC 303. I cannot wait for that one as well. So I just want to get that out there. I don't know if you saw that. Just want to give a little update.
No, yeah, I did watch UFC from Saudi, their inaugural Saudi show, and I agree with you wholeheartedly on Robert Whitaker showing up and showing out and looking true to form like we know Robert Whitaker can. And to me, some of the fight nights, again, you look at the card and you go, who's fighting?
Yeah, who are these guys? Yeah,
Who's fighting?
Yeah.
But this was not one of them. And again, Saudi Arabia, who would have predicted this a few years ago, is really become one of the fight capitals of the world.
Fight hub.
It's a fight hub. It absolutely is, because because they're willing to pay for fights and they don't care if they make any money.
Exactly.
That's how we're getting these fights. Like Usyk and Tyson Fury should have happened, you know what I mean, at a grand level before it did a couple of months ago. You know what I mean? We should have seen that at a grand level. And the Saudis are like, how much y'all want? Yeah, okay, we'll do that.
Yeah.
Are we going to sell pay-per-views? Well, whatever.
We don't need that.
We don't need that. What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
I mean, it's free show.
Just if you can show up, if you can make it there, make it there. It's kind of like Chael and Anderson Silva fought recently in a boxing match, and it was just for some guy.
You know, it was just
his buddies.
It was just for fun. It was just for fun. Nobody was trying to knock anybody out.
And it was a draw. But anyway, hey, look, we do have a lot of super chats. I do want to make sure we get to them before we run out of time. This comes from John JID 999. What can AEW do in terms of marketing to get the word out more so average people to watch? The ratings have been steadily declining this past year. We were just talking about that in a segment. Here's the thing I think they're going to run into. It's going to be like TNA toward like the latter part of their big run. You know, kind of right as it started to tail off after you and Sting and everybody initially came in. It's going to get to the point to where you see some of these guys out that you know from maybe their WWE years and go, like, say they run into him in the airport, be like, hey guys, when are you coming back to wrestling? Because I still feel like the AEW.
I don't think that's what it is.
I do.
I mean, that's your opinion.
In the sense of the average person knows WWE, the average person doesn't know AEW.
I get that. But I'm basing it off of me being in TNA, me going to cities, and there was no advertisement for us actually being in those cities. You know what I mean? And the arena's right down the street. I see so much advertisement for AEW on so many different networks. So I mean, just say for instance, you pull your phone up and it might pop up on your one, just an app might just pop in, I mean, it might just pop up in one of the apps, whatever, and the thing is, no matter where I'm at, I see AEW advertisement. That's not their problem. It's not that that they're not advertising. I think AEW's roster is so big, they have no way to really try to find a footing as far as trying to create stories because they got way too much talent, just like WCW had back in the day. Thing was, WCW, like I say, was hiring that talent just to corner the market. Now, is Tony Khan hiring all of this young talent just to corner the market? Perhaps, maybe. I don't know. But if he is, he's doing it the wrong way as well. Because why you want to, corner the market with a talent that's not even a star yet? That makes no sense to me. That makes no sense. And then you got too many guys on the roster to build this. Look at Darby Allin. I mean, over the last 5 years that this company been in existence, Darby Allin, I mean, he's had a great run with Sting. I mean, I don't take that away from him or anything like that. But I think Sting got more of the rub than Darby Allin did.
In some ways, yeah.
I mean, I could be wrong. There, but I feel that way. I don't feel like Darby Allin has been built to the star that he could have been 5 years later.
Well, I saw Tony Khan say the best thing that AEW has ever done, and I'm paraphrasing, is the retirement of Sting, right? And they did a great job with that. But if the best job you ever done is the retirement of a wrestler, you're not doing your job effectively. Because the best job you should have done is establishing new stars.
My point, exactly. Next super chat. Let's move on.
Yeah. This comes from Cali Toenail. Happy birthday to my mom and my tag team partner, my brother today. Shout out to Billy D. Williams for the B-Day dinner love. Mom's still on the moon. Well, shout out to you, Callie, your mom, and your brother.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
The Eddie E. Kane Main says the grocery store brawl with Stone Cold was a 5-star match, King Booker.
That could perhaps be true.
But the thing is, too, is like, to me, the reason that stands out was not only because it was unique, we didn't see it before, and y'all did it effectively, but it was a moment that everybody remembers talking about. Like, did you see the show last night? Stone Cold and Booker T got into it in the grocery store. Oh man, it was awesome. Stone Cold was whooping his ass from pillar to post. I mean, got Milk Book. I mean, we were quoting it to each other. When it happened, and it was a water cooler moment, if people know what that term means. And to me, that's what AEW needs to do as well, is have those moments where it's like, hey, where I call you and be like, Book, did you see the show last night? God, this was incredible. What happened?
It was funny, man. It was funny. It was stupid. It was wrestling.
Right.
And the most important thing about that, I knew my job. Steve knew his job.
Absolutely.
I knew what my job was that night, and we did it perfectly. I talked about it. I never watched that up until 2 months ago, and when I watched it, I cried the whole time, and I realized why people love it so much.
Yeah, it's classic, instant classic. The Dork Knight says, "I'm sorry to differ, Brad, but Bret Hart versus Steve Austin was the best WrestleMania of all time." Well, then you should know, Dork Knight, Bret has only one T and not two. But I do agree. I think I think that's a great match. It's one of the great WrestleMania matches ever. It's not better than Taker and Shawn. It's not better than
you know what? That's one's perspective.
Macho and
that's one's perspective, man. I mean, everybody got their opinion. I mean, that's all
one of the best ever.
I mean, it was a great match. It could have been. It could have been the greatest match in WrestleMania history as far as the Dark Knight look.
Yeah. I hear you. I hear you. What's your favorite? Is your favorite Mania match still WrestleMania 3?
Yeah, Steamboat Savage, man.
Steamboat Savage
Definitely was mine. Those guys went out and performed it. But that's old school. That's old school wrestling, and nobody did it better than those two guys, Steamboat Savage.
John JID 999 says, wrestling, like most things, is a form of escapism. Yes, it is. And how do we escape in a movie from an effective story being told?
Well, you can't have a car chase the whole damn movie.
Yes. Or a bunch of car crashes right after another.
It's not going to work. It's not going to work. It's not going to work.
No, you have to have, some jump. Okay, we have to get a couple more in real quick. Alex Cosentino, do you think your career would have been as successful in your prime today's era, or less successful, or more successful? I say more successful.
I would have been so over these days, man. I would have been so well far and beyond, these guys from a mental perspective. It wouldn't be fun. No, I mean, I'm not calling anybody, trying to call anybody out or anything like that. But I just think, that's why my bread and butter was. And a lot of these guys today really don't think that way.
And then our final super chat of the day, and I agree with you, by the way, you would have been bigger in this era. B says, I still remember when Book and Cena squared up during a promo.
Hey, man, I had some good work with Cena, man. The Best of 5 series was some damn good work with me and John Cena. I was schooling that boy. I mean, he was literally sitting under the learning tree and just soaking up that knowledge. And nobody did that better than John Cena. I had one of my best feuds with John Cena, one of the best that ever did it. He really is truly one of the best that ever did it. I give that guy big props. We got to get up out of here. I want to thank everybody for stepping inside the Hall of Fame today, getting your champagne wishes. Caviar dreams, man. We got some big news coming around the end of this week, guys. You don't want to miss out. You don't want to get shut up. Make sure you be tuned into the Twitter account and all that there. Bradley, for all the heavy lifting, man. I appreciate you. But right now, like I always say, peace. We love you, and we out.